Okay, so let us take a look at the box model in CSS. And in CSS, you should be aware of the fact that every HTML element is treated as a box, even text and inline elements. Okay, the box model is the structure of that box. Okay, and it's made up of 4 layers. And the first layer is the margin layer, the box layer, which is the second, the padding, which is the third, and the content layer. And each layer affects the size and the spacing of your element. Okay, so let us break it down from the inside out. Okay, from the inside out, we start from the inside, we go out. Okay, we start with the content. Okay, this is the actual content inside the element, like text, an image, or other elements. Okay, we can use it like this one. So these values, the width, for example, here we can have a div here we can have the property like the width we can specify like 200 pixels. We can have a height which is 200 pixels, also 200 pixels or 100 pixels, whatever you want. And these values apply to the content only, not including padding or borders by default. Okay, so let us look at another one. It's about the padding, and the padding is the space between the content and the border. Okay, so for example here, let us remove this one. It is better to use the body here. Let me use the body. So the padding, this one, the padding here is the space between the content and the border. Okay, so body. So let us have here our paragraph here, which is hello, the beginning. And the beginning, please don't call yourself the beginning, because God is there, God is the beginning. Okay, so let us see how we can use padding. So padding, which is the space between the content and the border. So padding, let us specify like 200, space between the border. So let us before we specify, let us see where our text will be. So if we save, it is between here. I think this small space which is remaining here, it is equivalent to the size of, to the width here, to the horizontal width of, to the length, not the length, the length here of this mouse. Okay, so let us try to apply the padding. So padding, which is equals to 100. Let us say use pixels. So if we use pixels, I think the size is getting more larger. I think here we leave 100 pixels, even up 100 pixels, even down 100 pixels. Okay, so that is it, which is the padding, which is the space between the content and the border. Okay, the border, which is the body. Okay, which is the body, the loot. Okay, and this one, it has space inside the box, pushing the content inwards. It pushes the contents inwards. Okay, you can also set individual sides. For example, here, if you don't want to set those ones, they are around. If you don't want to set the size, the size of the space that is left, the padding which is left on those sides, on all the sides, you can specify for each one. So for padding, let us specify for padding right. No, let us use left, because our text is small, we won't be able to see that. So left, we want to set like 100 px. So you are going to see that at the top, we are going to see from the top. We are going to use the example of the top. The top is going to be small, just a small default distance. Okay, if we save, as you can see, it is only being applied on the left hand side. Okay, on the left hand side, and on the top it is not applied, even on the bottom, even on the right, it has not been applied. Okay, so there are many. We can specify padding left, bottom, right, top. Okay, inline, start, baroque. Don't mind about these ones. So that's how we can use it. Or in shorthand, you can use padding like this. So if you decide to use only the padding property, like this one, padding property, you use the shorthand rule. Okay, for this one we use this one. If we specify 10 px, we use 20 px, we use 200 px, and we can use the 700 px like that, and if we save, we get something which is like this, or we can use it like this. No, we should specify only two, only two. So like this 150 px. So if we do this, we are going to get something like this. So this is the top, bottom, and the right, left. Okay, top, bottom, the top, bottom, top to bottom, and right to left. Okay, top to bottom and right to left. Okay, so here this one's for top to bottom, and this one's for right. This one, the second one. Let us put this one. They must be here to like this one. If you decide to use this one, you can use this one, but I encourage you to specify for each one or for all, but it is better you specify for each side. Okay, for each space on each side, okay, that you want to leave. Okay, so let us look at another one, which is the border. Okay, and this one wraps around the padding, and this one it wraps around the padding and the content. Okay, so this one you define its width, style, and the color. Okay, so for border, as you know, the border, like the border around okay, so for border, so here you can specify the radius, the bottom, border bottom. You can customize the border at the bottom. You can specify the color, border color. You can specify the width. Okay, you can specify the style. Okay, those are the ones that you can specify. So border, we can make it, we use the shorthand rule. So we use P2px. We can use a solid black, and the color we can put black. Let us put black. Okay, so if we save, we get something like this. Okay, get something which is equivalent to this. And if we try to mix, if you try to mix like this and you mix, you are not going to get the right results. Okay, it follows some rules. Okay, you should the first one is the size. Okay, this one, the shorthand. You can see here, this one, shorthand property for setting border width, style, and color. Okay, and they're widely available across major browsers. Okay, and the first one is the line width, second line style, and the color. Okay, they should be in order. Okay, so the style, we want it to be solid. We can make it like solid or dashed. Yeah, we have dashed here. Dashed, can make it also dashed. As we can see, we can also make it, there is also another one I remember, it is called groove there. As you can see, groove, it is also there. And if we try to increase the width to 10, you can see our groove. As you can see, it looks like this. Looks like this. And if we put back to solid, we're going to see the difference. Solid, we get something like this. Okay, the other one adds some 3D, modeling, modeling. Okay, so let us look at another one, which is the last, and this one is the margin. And this the margin is the space outside the element, separating it from other elements. Okay, so for the margin, we use it like the way we use padding. Okay, but just know, for padding, the space is applied inside the parent element. Okay, and for the margin, the stylings are applied on the parent element. Okay, on the parent element to the neighboring elements. Okay, it is applied between those two. Yeah, the parent element and the neighboring elements. Yeah, near the parent. Okay, so here we can specify. So for body, let us have some simple div here. Okay, let us have a div here. It has a paragraph which says hello, I'm fine. And we can have another one, how are you? Okay, this one like that. So here we have a paragraph down here. Okay, so we can have, let us have another div here. Let us just copy this one for simplicity. Okay, paste there. So we save. So we have two divs here. Let us come here and we apply some styles. So this div, we want all the div to have some sort of styles. We want to have the border. So the border, we want it to have like the width, we want to have 10 px. We want to have something the solid. Let us make it solid. We want to have the color, which is black. Let us use black. Okay, so if we do this one, we get something like this one. So if we want to separate these ones, we use the margin. Okay, margin. Use the margin. This one applies styles outside. Okay, outside the root element. Okay, the parent element. Okay, so if we want to separate them, we can do like this. We can use the margin. So margin, this one follows the same rule like. So the margin, we can specify the margin. We use, let us use something like 30 pixels. Okay, this one's going to apply to all sides. Okay, to all sides as it was in padding. Yeah, 30 pixels. Yeah, as if this side 30 pixels have been left. Even this one 30 pixels. Even this one like that. Yeah? 30 pixels. So we can specify here like we want margin left, margin top, margin bottom, left, right, line start like that. Yeah, like that. We can specify all of them like that. Or we can use something like this: 30 pixels, 30 pixels, 20 pixels, 40 pixels, 40 pixels, and let us use 10 pixels and last. And if we save, we get something like this. Okay, so here, as you can see, here they are different. Yeah, they are different. The space which is left here is different from the space which is left from this side. Even at the top, as you can see, at the top and even at the bottom, yeah, different sizes are being left here at the bottom, as you can see. Okay, that's how we can use the margin. Okay, that's how we can use margin. Okay, and there is also another one which is called the box sizing property. Let us look at the box sizing property. So by default, CSS uses the box sizing property. Okay, which is for example here, let us put like the box sizing property. Box sizing property. This one by default it uses the content box property, the content box value. Okay, so if we try to see it, we have this one. We have this one like this one. This means the width and the height only applies to the content, but this can cause unexpected layouts, especially with paddings and borders. Okay, and the better option is to use the border box. Okay, like this one, border box. To use the border box, this one. Okay, and for this one, it will do. This one will include padding and border inside the width or height values. So this one, when we do something like this one, like this one, width, and we specify width like width. Let us specify like 200 pixels, and the height of 20 pixels, and we apply a border. We can specify the border. So let us not specify the border here. So if we do this, as you can see, it has also been applied. I think it is no longer okay. It is no longer. So this will always be a total of 200 pixels. So no matter the padding or the border. Okay. So this one looks super useful, but don't rely on it. Don't rely on it. Okay. So there's also what we call margin. Yeah, can use. We have looked at margins. Okay. So there's also there's also the common mistakes. There are some common mistakes that I want to warn you. And how to fix them. Okay. So the first mistake you should is of not accounting for padding and the border in width. Okay, you should account for these ones, because this will break your layouts unless you are using box sizing. Okay, so for the box sizing property, when you put a value of the border box, okay, instead of the content. Okay, so another mistake is using margins when you should use padding. Okay, some people confuse that. They, instead of using margins, instead of using paddings, they use margins. Okay, so you should use paddings to control space inside an element. Okay, and margins to control space outside an element. Okay, and another mistake is forgetting the shorthand order. Okay, when using the for value shorthand for margin, here, you should not forget the order. Okay, the order is trouble. You should remember trouble. Please, some people don't like troubles, but you should remember trouble. It is like this. The order is like this. It is like this. TRB. This one. TBRA. This one, the T, it stands for top, R for right, and the B for bottom, and L for left. Okay, here the T for this one 30 px. Okay, the R is for 20 px, and the what? Oh, let me go back. And the B is for okay, let me repeat. TB. Okay, it is TRB here, TBR here, trouble. Okay, so the B is for 40 px, and the L is for 10 pixels. Okay, that's it. That's how you can use it. You should not forget that. Okay, you should not forget that. You should not make those mistakes. Okay, so that's how you can use that. Okay, that's how you can use that. Okay, so please like before you do any other thing. Okay, please like the video. Okay, and make sure that you have subscribed. Okay, and don't forget to click the bell icon. Where you see the bell icon, click it. Okay, thank you.